Hello everyone. In this talk, I am going to talk about the basics of Stylesheet, whether it's MLA, Modern Languages Association, or APA, that is American Psychological Association. You can follow any of them, but I would prefer to talk about the APA style because that is more convenient to use and easier. It's an easier tool. So let's begin. The roadmap of this talk is divided into three parts. In-text citation is the first thing that we are going to discuss. Then I'll talk about the references, how to style them, how to make a list of references. And then at the end, I'll talk about very basic formatting ideas so that becomes handy when you type and write a dissertation. Now, what is citation? Citation is a quotation. This is a Wikipedia definition, but this is just for you to understand. This is nothing to actually remember or cite. It is a quotation from or reference to a book or a paper or author, especially in a scholarly work. So citation is needed when you take some help, some intellectual guidance or some intellectual borrowing from other sources or other available resources. The APA style gives you the citation into this form. So this diagram is divided into two parts. As you can see, the first one is citation, where it starts with Baker, the name of the person who had written it in 2012, then followed by Lee 2016 and McAdoo 2017. So you can see they are chronologically ordered, not alphabetically as such, but chronologically ordered. Wrote blog post about APA style. So these people have wrote certain blog posts about APA style, and when you are writing an essay on APA style and you have read those persons, their works, then you have to cite their names to show your audience, show your readers that you have actually read them. Now, all these references separately should be included in your reference list as shown in the section below. All the references individually appear in your reference list along with the year. So we will learn about that later. But let's quickly have a look at the MLA style. In case of MLA style, in-text citation is into this form. So just the last name of the author and the page number, actual page number from where you have taken that intellectual help. Okay, or the data or analysis, definition, anything. Okay, so MLA style is little different from APA style. You have seen in APA style, we have mentioned the year of publication, but the page number is optional in case of APA style. In MLA style, on the other hand, the year of publication is optional, but page number is mandatory. Okay, and this is the general format of the MLA style referencing. So first appears the last name and then followed by first name, etc., etc. All the information are needed, and the publication date is at the end of the reference entry. Okay, now let's have a look at the APA style and MLA style in comparison. APA style gives you Burns and Matthews 34 to 35 pages. Okay, so that is one format where you are skipping the year of publication because that is there in the reference list already. In case of MLA style, you have the year of publication again optionally, but I would recommend that both combining both the APA style and MLA style, you should actually practice a very good habit of academic writing, that is, along with the author's name or names. If it is more than one name, then you have to mention all of them, like Burns and Matthews in this case, and Kervon and Povin in this case. Along with the author's name, you should always note the year of publication, like here, and the page number or numbers. So all these three entries should be there in the in-text citation, whether you take a quotation or a definition or data or any other kind of analysis. So this particular format is the one which should be practiced in case of academic writing, so that your readers can be promptly directed to that particular work by that particular author to those particular pages. All right. Now, some variations do occur. If you talk about parenthetical citation, then you can, at the end of the definition or quotation, you can write Chomsky 1965, page number 12. Okay, but when you say that Chomsky said that generative syntax so and so, then you can say Chomsky, then within bracket you can write the year of publication separated by the page number, right? Okay. The do's of in-text citation. Interestingly, for every kind of book, every kind of references, be it a book or journal article, newspaper article, authored or edited book, translated book, anything, the in-text citation format remain the same. In-text citation must correspond to a full reference list in the list of works cited or references. Whether you name it as works cited, which is done in case of MLA style, or references, that is done in case of APA style. But make sure you are consistent. Okay, and mention the page numbers, and for multiple citations arrange them chronologically, not alphabetically, which we have already discussed. The don'ts of in-text citation are: do not provide the author's full name or title of a work in both your prose and within parentheses. So in narration and parentheses, in both cases, do not write the entire name. Like Ferdinand de Saussure said this. No, not that. Saussure in 1965 said this. Right? Not the full name. Noam Chomsky, no. Chomsky, yes. Okay. Do not cite any name for statements which are part of common knowledge. Okay, part of common knowledge means when you say speech sounds are divided into two types, vowels and consonants. Okay, or you can say that the IC analysis was a previously recommended tool for syntactic analysis. So these are part of common knowledge. Everybody knows. Okay, so you don't need to cite these uh, sentences from anybody. Even if you copy or read these lines from anybody, it doesn't matter. You can skip the citation. Okay. Next, I come to the references. This is very important and an integral part of academic writing. You should always pay attention to how to refer to the articles or books or chapters, web pages, etc., etc. How to cite them, how to refer, and how to arrange the references. Common type of sources include books, book articles from edited books, book chapters from authored books, translated books, journal articles, newspaper articles, web pages, videos, lecture notes. So anything and everything can be the source of information for you. And for each type of source, there are different kind of referencing formats. We will come to those. The APA style versus MLA style. So you can just have a look and compare both of them. The first one is an APA style and the below is the MLA style. You can see the clear difference between these two are, in case of APA style, the first name is not written in full. On the other hand, they are written in shorthand, like the first initial only is mentioned, curve 1D, and you are free to use uh, the symbol for and MLA style you have to write the word itself. In APA style, the year of publication appears just next to the author's name, whereas in case of MLA style, you can see that it appears at the end, 2018 here, and without any brackets. But in APA style, they are within brackets. And most of the academic words in linguistics, if you have noticed, have followed either of these two styles. Mostly they they are supposed to use the MLA style, but the modern writings, they are using the APA style because of its convenience. It's more convenient to use the APA style, and that is becoming more and more generic, because not only linguistics but other fields of studies also are adapting this kind of citation, this particular style sheet by American Psychological Association. So you can go to the APA style formatting. Okay. Uh, then the first one is books. How to write the books, how to write the references for edited books and authored books. Let's see. This is the format, like edit. If it is an edited book, so write the name of the editor first, and if there are two, then separated by this symbol, and then you write eds. That means these two persons are the editors, then followed by the year of publication within bracket, then the title of the work within with italics. Title of the work, sometimes it also carries a subtitle, followed by the edition that you have read. For example, if you have read the IPA Stylesheet, the 7th edition, so you should mention the 7th edition. Carlos Kusenhoven's Understanding Phonology, you are reading the 10th edition, so you write the 10th edition. Okay. Then volume, if that is optional, and the publisher is important. That is very, very important, because sometimes a book is reprinted and published by many publishers. In that case, you should mention the name of the publisher for the edition that you are reading. Authored books, just the name. If there are two, then you write it like this, and then followed by the same information. The only difference between edited books and authored books, for authored book, you don't write this particular entry, portion of this entry, eds. But in edited books, you have to write that. Some examples are here. A B.A. 2012 Dictionary of the Great Andamanese Language, published from Delhi. So I didn't mention the publisher's name because that was unavailable um, in the the entry where I got it from. Okay, and Rio Carney's book, published in 2006, Syntax in as a Generative Introduction, mentioned the edition, second edition. So I'm reading the second edition there. Chapman's 2000 book, Philosophy of Linguistics, published from London by Routledge. So in this case, you can see all the information are correctly represented in the third one. In the first one, the publisher's name is not mentioned. In the second one, publication house's place of place of publication is not included. All right. Next one is chapters in edited books. The format is author, and then you can see the format on your own, and then you can see the first entry here. Draga Zex. I'm not writing the full name, full first name of the author. It was published in Cambridge Handbook of Phonology, and the chapter that I have read is the syllable. It's published in the in Paul de Lacy's edited Cambridge Handbook of Phonology, and the exact page numbers were from within which the syllable chapter appears in the book. Place of publication and then publisher's name appears. Then another chapter had been taken from an edited book again, but this is actually not an edited book. All of them are authors of the book. These three are authors of the book. So I am not writing it here, right? But other information, all of them are appearing in the entry. So if you can see that some books, some entries, you may not get certain information like place of application and publisher's name. That is all right in the sense you have to see for look for them, but you can skip if you can't get them. But author's name, year of publication, and title of the work is mandatory. In fact, either place of publication or publication house's name, either of them should appear. Translated books are written in this way. After the name of the translator, right after the name of the translator and the year of publication, write the word translator. That means he or she is the translator of the book. So originally it was written in French by Ferdinand de Saussure. Now you can see that the entire name is written Ferdinand de Saussure. The name of the book was like this, and you have read the translated version. And Paris was the place of publication. Hitchett was the publication house's name. Now this is a range of years when Ferdinand de Saussure actually did not publish his work in Cours de General Linguistics. What happened was his students had compiled a book which became, one of the fundamental readings of linguistics, and those lectures were given by Saussure within a year range, that is 1910 to 1911. Anyway, if this kind of book appears in one publication year, just write the single year. Books written in other languages. In most of the cases, you will be working on languages not in languages other than English. So when you do that, many a times you need to work on or read books which are published in other languages. For example, in this case, I have written an entry for Ohomia Bhasha Aru Upabhasha. Okay, so this was published, this was written by Upendranath Goswami. In 1986, the other entries remain same, followed by the name of the book in italics, but within square brackets, what I have written is a free translation of the book name, so that your reader understand what the name is. You understand is a different thing, but you are writing the dissertation or any academic writing for your reader, right? So Assamese language and dialects is the free translation of the book name. That this doesn't mean that I have read or I have mentioned in the reference the translated version of the book. No, this is just the free translation of the book's title. It was published in Assam by Monimani Prakashan. Right. Next is journal article. This is very, very important because in most of the cases you will be reading journal articles and would like to refer to them in your work. You can see journal articles are also written in the same way for author's last name followed by author's first name's initial, then the year of publication, name of the article, and then followed by name of the journal in italics. Remember, both book name and journal name should be written in italics. Then you have to cite the volume number, and within parentheses you should write the issue number. In some cases you may not have an issue number. That is not important. If it is not there, then don't try to get it. Like for example, in the second entry you can see volume number is there 45, but issue number, that means issue number is something like episodes within a TV show or a web series. You can see season 1, season 2. So all those seasons can be analogous to the volume number. Okay, and the episodes number are like the issue number. Okay, so this particular entry doesn't have an issue number, but for journal articles, book chapters, etc., page number is very, very important. Alright, next. PhD thesis is something which you must be reading while you are compiling your dissertation or any other academic work, and you can see how they are written. In this case, I have written about the dialectal variation in missing, which is an unpublished PhD thesis in Tezpur University, Assam. That has to appear within your reference entry. Similarly, Maurice Halle, 1989, the intrinsic structure of speech sound. Now, I don't know whether that was a PhD thesis or an MPhil thesis or an MA dissertation. When I read this, I just got the information that this is a manuscript. Manuscript is written with the short form MS. That is also all right. If you don't know whether it's a PhD thesis or an MPhil or an MA dissertation, you can just write MS if it is an unpublished work. But even if it is unpublished, theses are submitted to some institute like MIT in this case, and in this case it's Textbook University. So this information have to be there in the entry for PhD thesis. Next is newspaper article. Many a times you must be reading newspaper articles while you are consulting information for your work. Okay. For newspaper articles, something very important is appearing, which you should be able to see that along with the year of publication, also the date is mentioned. This is very important because, as you know, newspapers are daily. Most of the newspapers are daily published, so the date is very, very important. In the first case, the debate on national language, the Hindu, it appears not only in the Hindu newspaper, it appears in the section that is national. So that has to be informed to your audience or the reader, and the page number. Okay, generally these days certain articles or news bulletin, they give a range of pages like 5 to 7, or sometimes in SMS daily you can see that there are articles or news are segmented into 3-4 pages, so you should write all the page numbers. In the second case, you can see I didn't mention the page number because I have read this article from their page, their web page. Okay, in web page, as you probably are aware that you don't get to know the page number exactly because they give tabs. So here the website is mentioned. Okay. Conference papers are to be mentioned with just after the name of the presentation. You should write paper presentation or poster presentation. So whether you have actually read the paper or poster, you should mention within square bracket and then followed by the name of the conference. In this case, conference on feature and under specification theories. In this case, the annual LSA meeting and the place of conference where it was held. These are the comprehensive information for internet sources, including web pages. Many a times you must be writing information from web pages. In those cases, name of the authors, if given, is important. Some of the web pages like SIL, they don't give the name of the authors in every page, but some of the pages they write this piece of article has been written by so and so, etc. So if it is given, you should write that. Year or date of publication is all optional, but if it is there in the web page, then you should mention. Then title of the document, whether it is about endangered language, whether it is about language policy or world's languages in general, etc., etc. So you should write the title of the document, then followed by the title of the website or the database. WALS is a database, as you know, etc. Then pages, sections, paragraphs, if given. These are optional. Digital object identifier is, if given, it should be mentioned by you, and the exact URL uh, should be given. In most of the cases, you should give the URL if appropriately presented. Now, to summarize what reference is, reference should be arranged in an alphabetical manner, and you should not use any numbering or bullet points. They are not bulleted. They never should be bulleted. For science and engineering domains, there are practices of numbering those articles, the references, but for humanities and social sciences, we never number or bullet them. Wikipedia pages are not to be referred. As I told this in the beginning of this talk, that Wikipedia definition or information should be used just for understanding. They are not to be referred in the references. Academic web pages can be referred. Okay, any web page like WALS or SIL, SOAS, etc. Those can be referred to, but within the format like I have shown in the previous slide. Databases like JSTOR, SourceGanga, Project Muse, Academia, Z Library, these should be there. These can be referred, but they should not be referred like zstore.org is your reference, because zstore is a collection of millions of articles. Z library is a collection of millions of books. Sotganga is a collection of millions and thousands of theses, Indian theses. It should not be millions, sorry. It's lots of, thousands of PhD theses. So, if you refer in your reference that this is from JSTOR, how the reader is going to understand? From JSTOR, where? Where from JSTOR? So, you should actually mention the source which you have retrieved from those databases. Databases are not to be directly referred to. Academic databases generally contain all the information of a source or articles. Like random Google search, however, may not include them. So when you Google search, you may not get the exact information, but you should be at least investing some time to get the information. Generally, JSTOR articles or even Sotkanga thesis, they give you the information at the title page, like who is the author, where was the uh, this article appeared in the first place, and then who was the publisher, and etc. So all those information you get from the front page or the title page of the work. Now I will talk about very briefly about basic formatting. Basic formatting in case of linguistics, because most of you are working on languages other than English and you will be using examples from other languages. This is very important that you know that words from other languages must be written or typed. You are typing the work, so they should be typed in italics, followed by the English gloss within single commas. Okay, this is very important. Sentences also need to be typed in italics, followed by the English interlinear glossing. If you follow Leipzig glossing rules, you should be able to see. So moi bhat khalu, this line should be written in italics, and at the bottom just next to that you write the English translation, sorry, the glossing. So glossing should not be in italics, but the moi bhat khalu part, the sentence in Assamese, should be in italics. Okay, some more formatting ideas for your document. When you get your document ready for submission, make sure that your title is aligned center, all caps. Okay, then section heading should be left aligned, bold, no underline is needed in the entire document. Okay, if you follow either MLA style or APA style, you will see that underline is never used unless very crucially needed for some data analysis. Apart from that, you do not need any underline underneath section headings or definition or author's name, nowhere. Underline should not appear anywhere in your document. Text alignment apart from the title and section heading should be justified, except content page. Content page, you know how to arrange it. I have shown you this already. Uh, Font style should be only Times New Roman. Even if you have made uh, copies from other document, your own document or elsewhere, you should make it sure that your document doesn't have any other font style except T and R. Font size should be 12, line spacing should be 1.5, and first paragraph left indented, second paragraph onwards within a section, one tab space from the left indentation. Okay, these are some of the basic formatting ideas you should always pay attention to before you submit your document.